For you to kind of review in case I'm not here. Try to see. Okay, much better. All right, so we are now into this section right here. And keep in mind, I did catch some people playing video games last class, and they kind of scolded them. So what I'd like you to do is under U1L1, okay, U1L1, that means Unit 1, Lesson 1, CW is class code. So we're going to do this together. All right, so please open this up right here. It's called the Google Docs. Okay, and at any time if you need my help, please raise your hand. Do not hesitate to raise your hand. Okay, and for the class, keep in mind that this class, time will be taken to help those who need their hand raised. Okay, looks like everybody's there. Okay, the first thing I'd like you to do now, okay, is there's going to be two parts. The way we keep files is going to be very structured and very important, okay, because we need to maintain the files. There's several places we're going to store. I'm going to try to avoid storing the files inside a hard drive. The reason I say that, okay, is that in a Mac, the more space you take up in a hard drive, the more slower it'll get. Now keep in mind, you guys are sharing your computers with about 5 other people. And so storage can really get sucked up in a big way. So we want to make sure we keep everything in the cloud. And there's an Adobe cloud, you'll find out later, Google Docs cloud. I'm even asking the district to purchase some external hard drives. The external hard drives will be a substitute for the hard drive. Because I want the computer to move fast and write, okay? So let's see what we can do here. All right, so if we can go to Google Drive, okay, so first of all, what I'd like you to do is, for your own sake, and if you can kindly download the Google Drive app on your computers, on your iPhones or your Androids, okay, so if you can kindly, oh, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt, but anybody got an email from me last night about English language learner? Anybody not get that email? Okay, that would greatly help me if you are an English language learner. Okay, I can actually record this. I'm going to put everything up on YouTube. Alrighty, and YouTube has a good way of translating for you. But also, when I write this down, I can use Google Translate. So I need to know to help you out. If you have an issue, okay, please raise your hand. Anybody here speak fluent Spanish? Okay. So, I might hire one of you guys to be my translator. Anybody here English language learner, students? Anybody here English language learner that need to have some translation in Spanish? Nobody? Okay. Well, if it's nobody, then that's good. That's okay then. But if you have any problems, let me know. I'll ask my translator to help me, and the translator will definitely get extra credit. Okay. Or some form of reward for their help. Okay. Thank you for listen. Okay. So please, it is now 8:46. I'll give you till 8:48 to download the Google Drive. I would also recommend you download. Also, I'm going to put this down. Recommend you download the Google Classroom app. And the reason I say that is because if you ever want to send a message to a teacher, including myself, the Google Classroom app serves as sort of like a text messenger. So in other words, your teacher, if they have it, and they should have it, I have it, they should have it on their respective phones. If you send a message, they'll get the notification as if it's a text message. So you can access them anytime. I've had people send me messages as late as 11 o'clock at night, and I'll respond. Okay, if I'm not asleep already. So I will respond, and we're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead. It is now 9:47. Like I said, I'll do until 9:48. And then once you're done, please log into your Google Drive account. Okay, so it is 9:48. Now let me show you this. If you're using Safari, I'm using Chrome. Okay, but if you're using Safari, again, I highly recommend you use Chrome, but you can use whatever one you want, whichever is best for you. I'm going to use Chrome, just so you know. But I think in both Chrome and Safari, this plus sign right here means open an extra tab. So, maybe you should already know that. And then, of course, here inside the Google homepage, you have the apps icon over here. And that should kind of click that. You'll see a whole bunch of apps. And by the way, I don't know if you know this or not. Because I don't know how skilled or where, if you guys are versed with Google or keyboarding and things of that nature. But you can actually move, see, I can actually move this up. I can do that. So I kind of like have Gmail, and Drive and Classroom right in the front. Okay. And the reason I do that is I'll be using those levels. Okay. I use Meet. The account I don't really look at, but that can be way down here. But I obviously go to YouTube. Obviously go to Meet. I don't really connect with Calendar. That's something to kind of consider. Okay, please log into Google Drive. Okay, and I'll wait for you. And if anytime you need my help, please raise your hand. All right, so hopefully you're all set. Now, the one thing I will show you this. Sorry, I'm going through two computers here. All right. So you've got I'm going to go ahead and remove this. Please ignore what I'm doing here. Okay, so over here, if you look at this document, I'm going to ask you to create a new folder. So for those of you who are not versed in Google Apps or Google Drive, this is I'm going to have a brief little showcase on how to do this. But for those of you who do know it, and I'm sure a lot of you do, please excuse the repeat. Okay. Hopefully you've got that. Some people might get a little bit bored here, but anyway, just bear with me because there's other people who don't know this, okay? So here's one thing I'd like you to do is highlight where it says 1 intro graphics. Just highlight that. Okay, 1 intro graphics. And then here's some shortcuts that you may want to be interested in. To copy anything after you highlight it, it's Command C. And the command button is to the very left of the space bar. So you should learn how to do everything with one finger. So your left hand finger, your right hand should be on the mouse, your left hand should be on the keyboard using those fingers. So unless you have really tiny fingers, then you can release the mouse and use both hands to try to select it. But if you want to remember it and type it in, you can do this, okay? By the way, does everybody have their right-click functionality working? Because you can also highlight, right-click, copy. Highlight, right-click, copy. If you notice, you've got all the shortcuts listed right there. That's command. That's the command key symbol. Okay, so you can right-click, copy. Anybody not have the right-click function working? I'm asking you again. Okay? Mr. David, you got the right-click function working? Okay, please check. All right. Anybody not have it? All right. So right-click, copy, and then what I'd like you to do is go into Google Drive, please. And anybody know how to create a new folder? Yes, sir.
New.
Okay, good. New, and then click on folder, and that is absolutely perfect. That is absolutely correct. So Did you say your name, sir? Antoine. Antoine, okay. I want to make sure Antoine got it exactly perfect. All right, so you click on new folder, and then you just remember, pasting is Command V. Command V. You can just Command V. Okay. You learn these keyboard shortcuts. Okay. You will be a computer whiz. That is really what separates the professionals from the amateurs. Is learning how to do the shortcuts. Okay. Learn how to do shortcuts, and in Photoshop, you will learn a ton of shortcuts. Learn how to use the keyboard. Okay. So once you're done, is everybody good? Okay, if you're not good, raise your hand, and I'll come help you. Press create, and okay. So the reason why I have one over there is because this is arranged. Okay, as long as the arrow here is pointing up, and if you click down, see, it'll go up and down, whatever one you want. It always lists the first part first. In other words, first part meaning numbers. It goes numbers and then letters. So the letter A would come first, obviously. So it's both in numerical and alphabetical order. Okay, the next thing what I'd like you to do is with this, a couple of things. Right click, organize, give the folder a different color. Give it a red, give it a purple, give it a blue, give it a whatever. Okay? Something to distinguish it amongst others, because you'll be referring to this. And then go back to organize and give it a star. And give it a star. There we go. So again, organize, give it a color. My favorite color is purple, maroon, and give it a star. So what happens is when you click on star right here, there it is. Now, of course, you know, we have the 1, so it's going to appear on top, but just in case in a different color, you know, whatever the case may be. Okay? So please consider doing that. And you're going to store all your work here. So this is going to be critically important for you to know this. That's what I want you to know. So none of your work is going to be kept in your computers. It'll be kept there for a short time, but then afterwards we're going to store it onto the cloud. Anybody here have a Windows or a Mac machine at home? Please raise your hand. Okay. If you have a Windows or good. So if you have a Windows or Mac machine at home, you can download and install the Adobe software that we have here at home. Okay, so you may want to do that just in case. Trust me, people who have that, life is so much easier. Okay, I strongly urge. Okay, anybody need my help? Okay. All right. So good. Next thing, what I'd like you to do, if we go here, okay, is share this folder. Share this folder with me. There's my email. So if I'll show you how to share. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself. So right click, and you go down and you press share.
What do you viewer, commenter, or
Viewer. Thanks for asking. So we can share. So you can put my email. I mean, there's no way to do any work here, so there's no point of being an editor. So if you were to kind of, unless there's a document, but I can comment, and but at any rate, there's rare. I never ever give out essays. I never ever give out essays. This is just, like I said, you're just going to send what you're going to send. And it's also sent using Google Classroom too. So at any rate, please share with me. I'd appreciate it. And we are good to go. Looking for a spotter for the football game, if anybody's interested. I've got a media crew, and I'm also looking for someone to host the Aztec sports show. well, for all sports. So anyways, I gotta get more organized. That's why I was really hoping for a day off today. All right, but we'll get organized, and my commitment is to give you the best educational experience you've ever had here. So, all right. So now that we got that, you shared. Thank you so much. How do I know you shared? I'll show you. So look at all these shares. See, all that folder share, folder share, folder share. All right. So that's how I know. All right. Cool. Now what I'd like you to do, and this is kind of just keeping an eye on the watch. Don't worry about everything else. Don't worry about anything else. Okay. I already asked you to place a star. Next thing is the hard drive. Please open up the funny looking Finder right there. Finder. Just click on it, and you should have this little window open. Okay, so this is the previous class. Okay, so on the side, you'll notice that you should have a whole slew of things. Okay. However, there's only 3 of these where you can keep files. We're going to keep everything in downloads. Okay, because why? Because everything that's downloaded, we can drag it into the folder of our choice. But if you have desktop, now say for instance, your desktop is up here. Let's say, watch what I do. You can actually click and move. See that? So my recommendation is to try to click, right click, okay, and move it to the respective spot. Okay, so I would have desktop documents, downloads. This is just, something I'm asking you to do. I'm not gonna, it's up to you. You may want to keep it. Anybody not have the 3 folders on the left side? If you don't have it, please tell me right now. All right. Inside the downloads folder, you notice I've got a whole bunch of weird things here. All right, so on the very top, you should see an icon like these, okay? Either that, or you should, my recommendation is please select the columns. Right click, click on columns, not right click, I'm sorry, just click, go ahead, select columns. So now, that way, you select a file, and on the right side, you will see this thumbnail of what it is. Okay. Okay. If I'm going too fast, I'd like to move forward, if that's okay with everybody, if you're not, let me know. Now, what I'd like you to do is, again, you really need to make sure, okay, click on download, click inside the first column. There's a couple of ways that you can create a new folder, and we're going to create the same folder here, okay, 1 intro graphics, okay, 1 intro graphics. If there's a dash there, get rid of the dash. I don't think there should be, but there might be. So what I'd like you to do is either you can go File, New Folder, or you can, inside the white area, right-click, New Folder. Right-click, New Folder. Okay, whichever, and then what you're going to do is paste. Okay, there you have it. All right, at this point, I will walk around, if possible, if necessary. Okay, the next thing what I'd like you to do is go back to Google Classroom and go back to U1L1 CW. Okay, don't give up on me, everybody. Come on. Got a few more minutes here in class. All right. Now I'm going to show you all how to download a zip file. Okay. As you can see, there is one thing called 1_PS_exercise files. These are images, okay, that I got for you in case you don't want to use any of your own images. Although I really want you to use images on your own that reflect who you are, okay, as I said in the beginning of class, or in the beginning of the first day of school. Let me show you the technique on how to do this. All right, we ready? Okay.
You just open it.
Try not to run on camera. Okay. Right click. Everybody, your right click method has to be working. Right click. Move the cursor over. Move the cursor over the 1_PS. Move it over and leave it there. Move it over. Okay. Right click on it. And you should see open link in a new tab. Open link in a new tab. If anybody doesn't see it, let me know. There's a lot of people are kind of lost at that. So if you see open link in a new tab, click on open link, okay? Okay, and then on the top, you should see a new link open. You should see something like this, okay? You should see a blue button. If not, then you did it wrong. Okay, let's correct it. Okay, good. You should see a blue button. It should tell you to indicate that it's there. But what you can do is go to the Finder. Go to the Finder. And of course, everybody downloaded except for me, so I got to download. And as it's downloading, you'll see that it's going to either ask you, I'm going to go ahead and download into my downloads folder. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and save. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and notice right here, it's going to show me, okay? Or I can just go to my Finder, and there it is right there. It should be a zip file. Now, here comes the next challenge. Anybody not up to this point? Please raise your hand. All right, next thing what I'd like you to do is, how many here have a folder and not a zip file? You have a folder. Okay, same thing. What you're going to do is, now this is where it's kind of a little tricky. And by the way, when you right click and regular click, please use the ends of the mouse. In other words, you know, right here, like all the way at the very end, all the way over here. Okay, that way you are certain to right click and left click. So what I recommend you doing this, okay? Left click, okay, in other words, just regular click. Click and drag it into the intro graphics folder. Drag it in there. There you go. Okay? Drag it in there. Whether it's a folder or a zip file, drag it in there. Yes, sir. Good? Okay, just give me a thumbs up. Alright, cool. I like thumbs up. So much nicer than okay. Good, Antoine. I can see from here you're doing good. All right. Sean, are you good? Sean? Okay. If you need a new mouse, let me know. I'm losing mice and I don't like it. Okay. Now, if you have a zip file, all you got to do is this. Double click on it. Okay, right, left click on it. 1, 2, and look what happens. It's extracting. If you're using Safari, it's already extracting. And you can see from all these here, you got all these different images. You are not limited to using these images, okay? There you go. And this is why I want you to use the column in Finder. That way you can click on a folder and it appears. Okay? Again, column is, it looks just like this right here. Okay? And you can also move the columns in. So you can see, I can straddle the line and move it over. That way I can see more to the left. Okay? And if I click on Family Pick, oh, there's my family. And also, if you press on the space bar, okay, if you press on the space bar, it'll actually, it'll get bigger. And press the space bar again. That's the beauty of the Mac, because you don't need to open up an application to see an image. So if you click on this, And by the way, like I said before, and I'll say it again, if these aren't your images and you want to use this, you can use any image you like. Okay? So these are all about Photoshop. Okay, I believe there's a lion picture here. Okay, so somewhere here. And if you look at that lion picture, and okay, lion, look at that. Now if you look at the angle, okay, that is majesty. That says, okay, you enter my territory, I'm gonna wrap. Okay, you're in my house. Get out. All right. This is when I went jogging. Sunset came out really nicely. This is my tortoise, Herbert. He likes to hang out. So, anyways, again, you can go ahead and practice doing all that. All right. Oops, that's kind of. Thanks. Anybody here dog lovers? Anybody have a dog? Yeah. Okay. Okay? All right. All right, everybody. That is going to be it for today. I will let you out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and post this.